Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Doc Severson for the ReadySetCrypto OMNIA trade of the day for Thursday, the 23rd of September. All right, once again, I'm starting on the S&P 500, and over the last couple of days, we've seen a hellacious bounce from this 5% pullback. So things look to be good, and at least for right now, we don't know if this is going to turn into a lower high. But I believe that all of this scare of, margin calls, redemptions, things like that, that can roll downstream to include the crypto market, I think for right now has been avoided, although I'll feel better if this does not turn into a lower high and roll over again. That certainly could happen. We don't want to be just complacent and think that, like everybody else, this is just going to head higher. So anyway, right now it looks like crisis has been averted. But if it does change, I'll let you know. Now, that's not the end of the story, because what we have is interest rates, because of the fact that we got past this Fed meeting and the Fed says, yeah, we're going to continue to look to taper our bond purchases. What that sort of means, and this has given the overall financial markets a little bit of strength, because it says, hey, they could have stepped to the side, but no, they're continuing with this notion of, hey, we got to turn off the spigot, and that must mean that things are okay. So again, this is always what you got to do with the Fed meetings, is kind of like look for the message in between the lines, in the gray space. And so what we're seeing is inflation kicking in today. This is an ascending triangle pattern, breaking out above 1.4 and starting to head higher. Uh-oh, that means inflation's coming. So what does that mean for the purchasing power of the dollar? It means it's going lower. And so that means that everything else has to head higher just to retain par value. Ultimately, that's probably a good story for Bitcoin, which is scarce, right? So it's not this asset chasing its tail, it's scarcity. And so far what we've seen is, as we've gone out to the weekly chart, we can see that this weekly chart is turning into a hammer candlestick. So this will print and start on the next week by Sunday, or Sunday night, right, is when this candle prints. But right now, this looks really good as a potential reversal hammer candlestick. So what I've been looking for is that higher low, and it looks like, again, I'm putting air quotes around here, it looks like we have printed this. We will not know until, for sure, the price breaks out above 53,000. This is where this weekly chart will confirm the uptrend. Right now, we're still in this sort of a no man's land, lower highs, lower lows, and then this is printed a higher high. We would assume that we would print a higher low from here. I mean, it's a pretty good assumption, very high probability that we're going to print a higher low at this point, but this can also serve to create a lower high, and this whole thing turns out to be one big bull trap taken underwater. So we've got to see the price recover from this, continue higher above 53,000, and then we can breathe a sigh of relief. But for right now, we're kind of at an important tipping point. I know I keep saying the same thing again and again, but this is where you've got to be disciplined about what's going on here. You've got to maintain the same focus and just trade what the charts show you instead of what you want to see. Here's Ethereum, and Ethereum has got an even taller hammer candlestick for this. Everything looks good. I'm not going to go through the entire top 20. We have a lot of coins that are doing quite well, like Luna versus the US dollar looks really good. We can see Tezos finally is starting to work itself higher. This is a couple of really strong days after almost completely retracing this. Just very sloppy price action. This is not my favorite to trade. I like something that's got a lot more predictability to it. But, there it is, a couple of really nice days going from 4.6 all the way up to about 6.4. Great move. Here is Hex. This is one of the best charts that's out there. This is consolidating on a weekly basis. We've been talking about the fact that this one's gotten a little ahead of itself. If we pull it out to the RSI Laguerre, we can see that we have super exhaustion, and we could use a couple of weeks of this just going nowhere. And so far, that's what it's been doing for the past 2 weeks, going nowhere, doing exactly what it should be doing. So that's good. I like assets that do that kind of thing. We have, let's see, Cosmos has been real strong. lately. This is a couple of really strong days on really good volume, so I like that. And that's pretty much it for today. I mean, we can find some other assets out there like Axie Infinity. And this one has been good for a while. However, it could use some consolidation. That's what it's doing right now. And it's a little bit ahead of Hex, right? So this one will finish its consolidation probably by next week. We'll see whether or not this will, Axie Infinity will continue going higher from here. That's it for today's report. We'll check back in on Sunday. We'll see if we have yet another bullish weekend, which is what we've seen the last few weeks on Friday and Saturday, not so much on Sunday. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you then.